All right, so our next performer is going to be Avalyn, and if you want to, yeah, turn on your camera, then unmute yourself, and let me see.
My name is Avalyn, and I'll be playing Toccata.
Awesome. You got some live pops as well from Atticus. All right, cool. So, yeah, let me pull up the poll real quick, and then we'll go from there pretty much. Okay, so for this one, we're going to be pulling through Oclef Pro. So Atticus, if you want to go to this link in the chat, pro.oclef, the public one, and then basically you'll click on it, and then what it should do is should bring up a page that says enter your name. So you just put your name there, and then you can fill out all the poll assessments out of 10, and then we'll kind of go from there pretty much in terms of the feedback. And then I'll give you like a minute or so to fill that out. Yeah, cool. So we have the results coming in. Awesome. Do you have any verbal feedback that you have you want to give?
The left hand was a bit loud.
Yeah. Okay. So definitely a balance thing. Yeah, that was something that I think of as well. Yeah. So in terms of the feedback, and I'm just going to read out the scores, and this is all individual. So it's out of 10 for this new system. So articulation, you got a score of a 5 and a 9, balance 8 and 6, dynamics 5 and 7, movement 3 and 7, phrasing 4 and 7. So yeah, I would say in terms of articulation, um, pretty good in the beginning. It was really the staccatos were nice and tight. They're really clean. But as you kind of went on, I think it was just probably because you weren't as familiar with the middle section, the staccato started to go away. So I think probably generally just working on that middle section, kind of getting more comfortable with it, so then you're able to play it with the proper articulation. Balance, you got 8 and 6. So in terms of balance, I thought it was okay, but yeah, as Atticus did mention, there are a few sections where the left hand was a bit heavy, and especially like when it kind of went to the lower range. As always, I say this a lot, is that a lot of the lower range notes, so the super low notes on the piano, can really overpower it. So being very careful about overall balance in terms of that, and especially since it's kind of like 1-to-1 ratio, so like there's one note paired with almost every single note. Making sure that the balance between the right and left hand is super important, because it's very apparent when the balance is like a little bit off, pretty much. In terms of dynamics, there wasn't a lot of dynamics written on the sheet as I was following along. Then one that I noticed is mezzo piano as I'm going through it, and then kind of a mezzo forte towards the ending. So I think in terms of that, it was a little bit top heavy in some ways. So I think maybe like bring it down. The mezzo forte dynamic was fine, but the mezzo piano I think kind of could be a little bit softer. It kind of felt it was kind of like within a mezzo forte range quite a lot for quite a lot of the piece. Movement 3 and 7. Movement was okay. I didn't see a lot of movement, although I was mostly focusing on the music. But I think that's kind of developing kind of comfort with the piece and being able to play it and then express it with movement, all that. And phrasing, we got a 4 and 7. So I would say that phrasing was all right, but I think that would probably be like the next step. So kind of as you're working through it, including phrasing in terms of like the melody and how you want to push and pull the tempo, and also how you want to like accent and accentuate certain notes, because there are certain notes that have like specific markings over it. There's quite a lot of tenutos that I'm noticing as I go through the score, along with accent marks and all that stuff. So kind of bringing those out within the phrasing, all that stuff, to make sure it's kind of like a complete kind of piece with that. Awesome.